women, MRAs, and MGTOWs. That's not suggesting women MGTOWs, because that's kind of, well, I'd hope you understand that. But as far as MRAs go, I find it innately convenient that only now are our issues being paid attention to, even though it's by a small proportion of the public mind. And it's only a problem now because it affects women. You see, a good chunk of the supporters of the men's rights movement and a voice for men is women. Why is this? Well, these women are mothers whose sons have been obliterated by our current society and culture. These are women who are being adversely affected by child support laws and alimony laws and policies as a result of getting involved or becoming the second wife. And you can find this here and there if you look for the Second Wives Club. You're also seeing alimony becoming an issue not just because of people like the Second Wives Club, but because now women are actually having to pay it. Women are having to pay child support. Granted, it's only about 5% of the total amount being paid out right now, but that's a whole lot higher than it was a few years ago. Only now, as this is affecting women, are our issues even being looked at. Which means one thing: our issues are not being looked at. This is still the culture of the woman. This is still protecting the woman from the evil court system. This is protecting woman protecting man by proxy of attempting to protect women from the court system that was persecuting the man in the first place. I don't know how many times I've seen on A Voice for Men and many other sites that these women are getting pissed off at other women because they destroyed their man and destroyed his earning potential. They're causing hardships for these women. And as a result, the politicians are listening to these women. They're not listening to the men in the MRA or MRM. They're listening to the women in the MRM. As long as this is the type of tactic that the MRM needs to take, it's not really men's rights. It's just protecting women once again. This is another reason as to why MGTOWs are looked down on by these women, because they like to say that they are know-alls. And our actions demean their contribution to the civil rights movement. This is wrong in a couple ways. See, feminism is a political movement. The men's rights, or the MRM, is a civil rights movement. It's not really a political movement. I don't know if I'll even ever see that. Men also don't, as a result of their innate ideology and base concepts, we're also not very likely to accept money and guidance from the Communist Party USA, of which funded and organized the feminist movement. These are some interesting and distinctions and fairly considerable issues. But once again, I would like to point out that a lot of the advances in the MRM is as a result of politicians and members of the media essentially focusing on the women that are adversely affected by these policies, not the men. They are still telling us to man up on Fox News. They're still calling us crybabies on MSNBC. And on at least one occasion, I had seen on CNN a feminist talking about how we are just sore losers. And when I say we, I'm referring to men in general. This is wrong. They are still promoting the mutilation of male genitalia. They are still promoting the social, the public shaming of men into behaving. They are still promoting men as evil and violent. As I said before, this is another reason why they don't like MGTOWs. We don't fit into their little box. We don't fit into their political narrative. Therefore, we are politically incorrect. We are the antithesis of everything they claim we are. And I don't think I'm the only one who sees as to how truly sexist all this new attention truly is. It's utterly disgusting. And the fact that there are groups out there that are welcoming these women wholeheartedly, I don't really know how I feel about that. If a woman is there because she is genuinely concerned about this, like perhaps mothers, I can understand that. But the Second Wives Club, the horrors of the alimony laws because now women must pay in greater number than ever before, or that as a result of the great Great Recession, which, as I said before, is actually a depression. Fewer men are at work. More and more fathers are stay-at-home dads, while their wives or significant others are the ones to go to work to earn the money, because companies have to meet certain quotas as far as hiring and gender diversity. So as a result, more and more men are gaining custody of children during divorce. It's still not very high. From all of my reading in the most friendly states, the ratio is still in favor of the woman by a factor of 85%. But men getting custody 15%? I don't think I've seen that in 30 years. At minimum. As of just a few years ago, it was like 3%. Okay, when I say a few years ago, damn. 11? Whew. Oh, I'm getting old. But, as I said, these are only issues now because women are being affected. Don't kid yourself. Many of these women are getting involved with the MRM because it is directly affecting their family life. These laws are adversely affecting women and their children, generally from a previous marriage. Just keep this in mind the more you pay attention to the MRM and the subsequent groups involved. You have a number of exceptions, including Karen Strawn. Once again, though, she's a mother. So I can say I honestly feel that this is a concern of hers, and she's not really looking to get anything out of it. If anything, she could be looking at losing. But any woman who has the opportunity or motivation to get involved with any of this, take a look at her situation. Would she gain from a change in policy? And then decide for yourself if she is truly there because of the problems with our civil rights, or is she there out of her own interest?